Hi there, this is Ryan, coming at you with a video. How did my RPGs go over the weekend? Well, it's a mixed bag story. I think both games went well within themselves. On Saturday I ran Castle Falkenstein. I had full 6 players, and it was a fairly rudimentary murder mystery. It had to be greatly simplified for the fact that it was running within a short time period. Basically, it's 3 hours. No one had played the Castle Falkenstein system before, and one of them, a guy called Kevin, had never played an RPG before. So I'm really sort of honoured that the first RPG he wanted to play was Castle Falkenstein, which was lovely. And he did really well. He got right into it and was really engaged in the story and the character, and he's playing the wizard as well, which, given that Castle Falkenstein magic isn't just a case of I cast, he was fully invested, and he had a great time. The scenario went well. There was one small glitch. There was a couple of characters who were very combat orientated, and it ended up being no real combat until the very end. There could have been some combat earlier in the session, but just the way the session went and the way everyone was reacting and interacting with each other, it never really happened until the very end. So I kind of felt sorry for him because he felt that there wasn't much going on, but they were certainly engaged enough in the storyline and enjoyed themselves, and I liked that. So that was great. Everyone seemed to enjoy the system, a couple of people asking about it, so that was nice. Sunday was a mixed bag, more than. I only had 2 players. I could have had more, but a couple of the players had to drop out for reasons, and the 2 that I had played in my Savage Worlds game the year before, and very flatteringly, when they realised that I was running a game, they signed themselves up for it, which was extremely nice. And if you do watch these videos, thank you very much. I think the scenario went well. I mean, it was a parody of 80s action movies, and it was all action all the way. And it got very silly very quickly, which was great. I think the only possible downside was they had played Feng Shui in the morning, which, for anyone who doesn't know, is essentially an RPG based on Hong Kong action movies. So they'd gone from doing a very high tempo, high octane Hong Kong action movie to high action, high octane action movie parody with True 20. So I worried that it was maybe slightly overkill. So I had 6 characters, so they picked their 2. And what ended up happening was both those characters eventually died during the scenario, but luckily, because there was only 2 players, they just got new characters from the ones that were left over. So 4 of the characters got used, which was great. But it was funny. Couple of highlights from that game. Oh, actually, before I say anything, back to Falkenstein. One of the highlights, Kevin, as I mentioned, who had never played an RPG before, did something absolutely. There was blackmail letters, and he was asked to procure them and give them back to one of the victims. And the victim was prepared to pay £20 for the letters, which was good money back then. So he got a hold of. He was given one of the letters, but it wasn't for the victim. So he used a simple illusion to change the envelope, and he nicely sealed the envelope and said, yes, these are your letters, where's my £20? And he got the £20 and he was off. Now, if it had been a full campaign, then when the person had opened the letter and realised it was all an illusion, there would have been repercussions. But for a one-shot, I thought it was great, and what I really liked about it was, here's a guy who'd never played an RPG before, just riffing and going for it and doing something creative, and it was fantastic to watch. But, to the True 20 again. We had a chase in clown cars. We had a high speed, in quotes, 3 mile an hour if you're lucky, with the villains in the front car and our two heroes in the rear car, chasing them in clown cars. And we had death by custard pie. I kid you not. One of the players, it was a husband and wife team, and she threw this pie as an improvised weapon. And she rolled, and she got a critical success. She rolled a natural 20. So I decided that the pie went through and actually hit the driver of the car full in the face, so it blinded him, and he didn't see the slight bump, and his car went careering into a big somersault, A-Team style, and landed, and the car exploded, killing everyone, except for the senator that they were trying to protect. And it was great. But the other one, the husband almost topped that when he said, because he was essentially playing an Arnie style character full of quips, and he was doing a very bad German accent, very bad. And once the custard pie went, he got his just desserts. And the wife was sort of looking at him with both tears in her eyes from laughter and a sort of look of sort of full contempt for a terrible pun. And there was an awful lot of punning happening in that. But then I saw something interesting. His dice wasn't rolling particularly well. So he got into his box, got a new die, new 20-sided die, took his die, went over to the bin, this die that wasn't working, went over to the bin and binned it. Never seen that before. It was great. I kind of hope that he went back and got it, because I know dice are 10 a penny these days, but still a 20-sided die. But if they were suffering in any way from action movie parody fatigue, they didn't show it, and they went in it. They went for it fully, and it was great. And I was really happy with the way the scenario went, and I hope they enjoyed themselves. So yeah, that was sort of RPG report. I think it went well. I think everyone enjoyed themselves, and it was good fun. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.